strange phenomenon takes
Oh, no.
place. Mr. Walker is charged with an overwhelming sense of power. His whole personality
You
changes.
can see him getting nuts when he's getting on the gas.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Like
Getting
he gets
nuts.
the fangs and the teeth.
Abruptly, he becomes an uncontrollable monster, a demon driver.
There they are. All right, let's talk about something that I find very annoying, and it's nice to finally talk about it out in the open. And it is the pickup truck road rage problem in Northeast America, and for me specifically, South Jersey. I think people who drive pickup trucks around here are usually the same dude. They're like this short, angry man, Caucasian man, let's call him. And he's usually has sunglasses, like the Oakleys, you know, and a bandana,
right. Okay.
camouflage, backwards hat, big truck, short. And man, they will tailgate you. It's almost like they're trying to kill everyone who gets in their way at all times of the day. Have you ever experienced people like this?
So yes, and in fact, well, I'll start with what might sound like it doesn't follow the stereotype, but I did blame a pickup truck. We were getting on Interstate 95 North, and on the entry ramp, and what I thought was a pickup truck came out of nowhere. And I mean out of nowhere. It's like 6 in the morning. It just suddenly, it's there. My father was driving, so luckily he has reflexes like a cat and did like avoid any serious problems. Nothing bad happened other than a quick swerve out of its way. But my first reaction, though, because I didn't quite see, it was dark, and my night vision's not the best in the planet, I can assure people. Didn't quite see what the car looked like, but I miscalculated, and I blamed the pickup truck. And I think it's because I've had too many other encounters where it was a pickup truck.
Sure.
That cut me off like that.
Was it actually
This time it wasn't, but it has been in the past.
Was it actually a pickup truck, or did you just assume it was because of its bad behavior?
I assumed it was. It turned out that the pickup truck was not the car that cut me off, at least not this morning. But there have been other incidents in the past where it was the pickup truck being very aggressive. And the driver looked a lot like
the way I described. So
yes.
PTSD and a little bit of a bias, which is fine. It's okay. You know, you're surviving out there. You know, you gotta like sometimes make decisions about people, and you do gotta judge people when you're driving because you don't know what they're gonna do. You're trying to build an archetype, right? So this is some of the issues I have with these guys. So I live in like an area where there's a lot of highways and there's a lot of trucks where I live. There's a lot. And they all act the same. It's like they have a hive mind. They all have the same consciousness. And they will tailgate you for the most ridiculous reasons. Like that, it could be going into a development and their house is like just right down the street, right? And they're around people they live with and they're still tailgating you. I mean, horribly so, and then they weave and they're trying to see what's around you, but they only got to go like another 200 yards and they're home. So even when they're like even close to home, they're still in this like, it's like they're insane. So this is what I want to do. I want to go to a car dealership who sells a lot of pickup trucks, and I want to find out who these people are, because obviously the people who sell the trucks know who they are, and they must know who buys these trucks. And I bet you they would say the same kind of person primarily buys these pickup trucks, these giant vehicles. And I just don't like them. And I like there to be a new law that punishes these people because, I mean, they viciously tailgate you around here. And I don't like them. I often fantasize pulling them out of the truck and blowing it up in front of them and or you know, just doing things to them that would be very, very painful. I don't like them.
You know, the fantasy of wanting to do things like sometimes you see a car like that and you do it. You know, I don't know. I couldn't bring myself actually to do it if it was even possible. But I do have the fantasy of like having the Bond, James Bond type car. You just push a button in there. The missile launcher.
Oil slick.
The oil slick.
The
exactly.
oil slick.
Like, oh, you want to tailgate me? Take this. You know, that vengeful side of you, deep within, or maybe not that deep, pushes the button and The oil's slick and they spin out of control.
Oh, it'd be
Car
great.
flies off the cliff and you're like, haha, that's what you get for
That-
for tailgating. But
That would
yeah,
be-
it's a shame.
That would be great. So I drive a large car. I have a big old SUV, so I'm not like a weakling out
Sure.
there. I used to have small cars, and like they would just be overwhelming me. So sometimes I'm not the best. So what I do is if someone's tailgating me on these dark roads around here at night, I just pull off to the side the first opportunity I get, and then I get behind them and I start to tailgate them. And
That's
it's
funny.
not right. I shouldn't do it, but I've done it probably 30 times, and it does feel good to just get on them, and then they feel the heat, and then I don't think they care. Like they're just like, and these maniacs, these short little Caucasian mans with their Oakley glasses and their cigarettes, and they all got their stupid little work vests on. There's something really inherently disturbed about they're broken men. They're angry individuals, and
Right.
I just would like to get like 30 of them and get a consensus of why they're so mentally ill and why their behavior is so poor. I want to get to the bottom of this. And let me just say, around this area where I live, those two guys who played, well, the one who played professional hockey, he just got ran over and killed. Did you hear the story about them?
Oh yes, that's a tragedy.
Not
yeah,
far.
That's really a shame.
That
Yeah.
same scenario happens constantly around here when pickup trucks are like going around and trying to see what the car is doing in front of them. And this idiot drove on the shoulder, and the shoulder, that wasn't a shoulder. That was just like this little piece of concrete. And then he just ran them over. And they all act like that around here. They all do. And I think it's
Such
disgusting.
a shame.
I think it's disgusting. And
Yeah, it really is. I wonder too. There's that psychological. Well, it is a psychological study. Like what kind of person is why are they so aggressive? And not to make light of bad situations, but I'm reminded of this. It was a joke commercial. I think it featured Johnny Chong, the comedian, and he's smoking. Let's just say he's smoking in his car.
Yeah.
And he starts philosophizing, if you will. And at one point he says something like, "Did you ever think you're not just in traffic, that you
our traffic.
And I almost I took that and I really actually thought about it. I'm like, it's true. I chose to get in the car.
Yeah.
I chose to be out there with traffic. And yes, it's frustrating, but every time I'm reminded of that, those moments I am driving, which are rare, but they happen. I live in a city, so I don't drive that much, but
That's kind of nice.
it helps me pause for a second and I can get a chuckle out of it. I don't have to get that angry or as angry as these stereotypical pickup truck drivers seem to get.
The ones that I really don't like, they go out of their way to bully you when they're driving. They're literally bullying you.
Right,
So
right.
imagine when people are walking, if the same person behaved like this in real life. So like you're like walking to go get your hoagie and Wawa, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you got some guy right on you, and you're just trying to walk, and they're just like pushing on you, and you're like, buddy, just go around. What do you want? And then they kept doing it to everybody in the store. How insane would that look if they physically in their body behaved like they do in their truck? Which it would look insane.
That's great. That's brilliant.
It would look insane.
Yeah.
They're just some guy pulling up and walking behind people and pushing them out the way, and like, I just think those people are seriously mentally ill. I think there's something very wrong with them. I don't know.
I think so too. It's almost like they have, how people get behind keyboards. They think they have the anonymity of the internet, and so they get like something like they're like keyboard jockeys. They're all tough
Yeah.
behind the keyboard where they think no one can find them. It almost seems like that on the roads sometimes. You'll get somebody who seems like perhaps more demure, less confrontational if it was like in person, face to face. But boy, they get behind the wheel of their truck or car or whatever,
Sure.
and they just become a totally different. There's this Disney cartoon, Mr. Walker and Mr. Wheeler. Have you ever, if anyone, it's rather old. I think it's Goofy, and he's just a mild-mannered guy, right? He gets behind the wheel though. He turns into like this
Crazy person.
growling maniac. It's almost exactly what you're describing.
What is it called?
It's insane.
I'll look it up.
It's,
Hold on.
It's a Disney cartoon.
All right, let's check out this goofy motor mania.
Yes.
Take the case of Mr. Walker.
This is the one.
Mr. Walker lives in a quiet, respectable neighborhood. He is a typical average man. considered a good citizen and of average intelligence.
Who's the crazy one? Not him, right?
Yeah, so this is how he is as a pedestrian.
Oh,
Like he's
okay.
the average guy, just mild mannered, kind of nice. Yeah. But you'll see what happens when he gets behind the wheel.
Is a kindly man, courteous, punctual, and honest.
Good morning, Mr. Walker.
Good morning to you, Mr. Geef. Lovely day.
Mr. Walker wouldn't hurt a fly, nor step on an ant. He believes in live.
The problem with the guys I've seen them in Wawa. They're mean all the time and they look miserable. At least this guy is nice.
Right,
Those other
that's
guys are
the-
evil
right.
constantly.
And let live. Mr. Walker owns a motor car. Wheel, a strange phenomenon takes
Oh, no.
place. Mr. Walker is charged with an overwhelming sense of power. His whole personality
You
changes.
can see him getting nuts when he's getting on the gas.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Like
Getting
he gets
nuts.
the fangs and the teeth.
Abruptly, he becomes an uncontrollable monster, a demon driver.
There they
Mr.
are.
Walker is
The pretty good reference you got here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
now
this is
Mr.
exactly what
Wheeler,
seems to happen
a
to
motorist.
a lot of us.
Oh shit.
Hey, Geef, watch where you're going,
That's what they are.
stupid.
It's like they get these sudden muscles when they're behind the wheel that they wouldn't have on there.
I liked how they argue.
Yeah, I know. It's like
It's like you're cursing, but you're not actually saying the words.
Hey, do you think you're on the hook road?
Of course I own the road. My taxes pay for them. I voted for road
Oh, he's a bougie little thing.
bonds.
oh yeah, he
I
was
pay for the
He's
road.
bougie.
And I'll
Yeah.
use them.
I like the old Disney stuff. The animation's really clever, right? They don't say a lot,
It
but
is.
you can tell his whole demeanor. I mean, he's pissed. You can tell.
Get off my road! Move over! Let me pass!
It's so ridiculous. So true. How much has changed? Drawn.
That was great. That is excellent. Now, the one thing in the future, if cars become more automated, will they look back and laugh when people used to manually drive? You know, like will they just be
They
like,
might. You know,
like
that's
kind of
the
like when
point.
you're like, we had a paper boy, we had a guy who would deliver milk. Like,
Right.
will it be that antiquated? You know,
Right? Like physical newspapers, even. Like, do they even? I mean, I still see them now and again.
Sure.
It's almost like an interesting, like, almost like an anachronism. I'll pick up the newspaper. Oh wow, look, a newspaper.
Yeah, like
Like it's actually, unlike reading them online, which is what I do like 90% of the time.
sure. I just go and see the headlines and read the blurb, and then they're like, join with your email and get more, and I'm like, I don't think so. I'll just read your little headline. And
Oh
I'm out.
yeah. I don't necessarily sign up for the subscription services
Never.
or the you can get news in your inbox. No, thank you. I get enough on
Yeah, thank you.
television and news app notifications. I don't need more
Ju-
in my email account.
Just those political ads alone now are just insane. You're just sitting there eating your meal, and they're just saying the craziest stuff on
Oh, it's
television.
true. It's true. I become a kind of version of Mr. Wheeler at my dinner table when I hear political ads come on TV. I'm like, oh god.
I turn into Mr. Wheeler when there's a commercial, so I don't like to listen to commercials anymore. I pay.
Actually, I'm with you there.
Extra-
All advertisements
Yeah,
drive me crazy now.
they're out. That was excellent.
Yeah.
I think that was a good segue. All you guys who drive pickup trucks, you short little mean men who probably owe child support and are drinking and driving, you're not cool. I don't like you. A lot of people don't like you. That's why nobody wants to be around you. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye.
Yeah.
All right.
One piece of advice I have for them is just address your resentment properly. If you're going out on the road with all these unaddressed resentments, just address your resentment properly, calmly, and rightly to the person who you should address it to.
So you're
Guys, come
saying
on.
they should be responsible for their actions and perhaps work on themselves, which I don't think they're going to do
Yes.
because it's too
Yeah.
much for them. It's too
Be in the moment. Don't take the anger with you out on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be Mr. Wheeler.
permanent. Yeah, they're insane.